they told me to keep it skinhead and put on my colors. And since Pittsburgh don't have a basketball team, I went with the Washington Wizards. Got this church from the shirt ladies at the church who help the homeless. And the old man here broke my dick with his wizard stick, what he called it, but he called it something else the other night. He called it his lightsaber. Do I want to see light? Then he broke my tooth in the fucking bullpen before they raped me. Him and Bowen and some of the other men, including the white man I saw in Capitol Hill, who's some sort of a jailer. Anyways, I'm just back after breaking windows in Arlington at Lido Pizza, trying to save my friend's life. Can't now, gotta go, goodbye. Hey, did you ever have them just figure that shit out moments like a Cajun Johnny Cash? I'm gonna break my rusted cage and run. I'm gonna break my rusted cage and run. Okay, break my rusted cage and run. Rusted cage, rusty cage, rusty cage and rum, cage and rum, Roman, rustic cage and rummin, Cajun and rummin, Romans. Oh my God, Roman, Cajun and rummin, don't And to top it all off, And to top it off, I set up my TV. Hey, how come I'm all caught up in other people's dream space? Oh yeah, because them people from West Virginia all practice their possession skills on me as a child, unbeknownst to me until a couple of years ago when I figured that shit out, that it's all real. Anyways, if someone played Jason Sears in the band RKL while Jason did his time in a clink clink, well, it was got to be Dave Stone. Dave Stone here in Arlington, Virginia. Used to be married to a very nice woman named Mandy until he fucked that up for him and his son. Please save his son. Dave Stone, you should not have pretended to be a rich kid on LSD imitator. You fucked up the world. Save us, please, everybody. Love from DC. Hey, so last night I was hanging out being weird, smoking weed over by the Library of Congress, sitting on their wall. I thought I was chupacabrandoing with the police, but we weren't. We were chupacabrandaing, said the lady officer with the weapons and a uniform. Unbeknownst to me, she also said chupacabras always have to be in control of the chupacabros. Chupacabrandoing always outweighs chupacabrandoing. So I just have these revelations, psychic ideas, transmutations, or other kind of things from the ether sphere, or what physicists are now calling a unified field. It's magic or telekinesis or telepathic, clairvoyance, ESP, or gifts of God, depending on what religion or school you go to or who you talk to, but whoever cares about that anyways. But basically it's like this. You basically have a bunch of kids that are just smart enough to maybe be like cotton pickers, except for today there's not cotton pickers, they're like trash pickers. But check it out, what happens is they call them like this. Oh, you got stabbed with Cupid's arrow on February 14th, and now you got a little leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day. We have to take him because he's an exile and a king. You'll see him again someday again. Under 45 seconds. And so the whole leprechaun, king, fucking exile, which is also, it's an exile basically, who is basically dumbass, idiot, retarded, or made to be that way with drugs or beatings to the head or whatever. All kinds of names for it, but they try and create this class of people, and this is Washington, D.C., where they come up with these great psychology and sociology revelations how to control people. So you have these young children, you keep them as dumb as fuck, you give them as little sunshine as possible and as little nutrition as possible, let them have children as young as possible, and tell them they're kings, or their children are kings, but they're also exiles, and so are they. And it's a weird psychic, evil, magic, devil plot by the religions. And if I'm correct about wrestling kids fucking taking over positions for people while they fucking rotted in the stink for months or years or whatever, or different stints, Jerry Barrett, brother to James Barrett, who's in the music industry, Jerry Barrett would have taken Rob Trujillo's position, who was originally for suicidal and now is also suicidal and Metallica when able to play. That would have been Jerry Barrett, currently married to Debbie Bowen, I believe living now out in California, South California. And this is Nate Daniel Shelley's Visitors from the infamous Doobie District of Washington, D.C. Now, if Roger Moret was locked up for 2 years, someone had to play that part. It was Nathan Turney who played Roger Moret. He's on my YouTube channel as Randall's Bones. I was also the original singer for this band. He's got this outfit he's got called Pitbull. That would have been Jerry Barrett on bass, me on vocals, Nathan Turney on Nathan Turney on guitar, and Kevin Kowalski on drums, also called Slow-Mo. Slow-Mo could have also been the Roger Moret if it had to be in multiple tours. Vinny Stigma. So you had Kevin Kowalski, also known as Slow-Mo, and Nathan Turney, bartender from Clyde's, under 45 seconds, all love. So there's a guy I grew up around named Pinky. Pinky could have played the singer for Necros if they did one tour when he was in jail. Brian Stewart could have played the singer for Necros if there was 2 tours while he was in jail. And that could have been what they did to Roger Moret using Nathan Turney and Kevin Kowalski from Rest of Virginia. So both of those dudes, Dave Noonan and Brian Stewart, could have played the singer for Necros on 2 tours. I first heard about Necros by Tom Joyner, Sean Joyner's older brother, and this is terrible. I forget what I was gonna say. This is really terrible. Under 45 seconds. As much as I hate to break this wishbone, and I hate to say this, there was a time when Justin Burdick could have played Fat Mike with them short dreadlocks, as well as Tim Barry playing Fat Mike with them dreadlocks, if they went on vacation for a while or did some weird shit while they were gone. And if Fat Mike had to do longer time, like 2 years, kind of like Roger Moret was said to do, who was probably replaced by other people like Nathan Turney and Kevin and shit, too much. Anyways, imposters, while they put our loved ones in jail and prisons just for their one or first 2 tours, now they get the cool stuff. I'm figuring this out because I'm magic, alone and almost dead by these people. And how about this right here? If resting boys, resting motherfuckers had to come out and take over Flavor Flav, but they can't explain it because one looked like Kamani and one looked like someone else. A minute ago, I remembered who it was. Let me see if I can remember in under 45 seconds who would have been the second person to take over Flavor Flav. And I remember it. Oh, well, I'm thinking about it. Victor Harvell would have taken Brian Baker's position in Minor Threat. Victor Harvell from Reston, Virginia would have been taking Brian Baker's position from Minor Threat and Bad Religion. That's who did that. I would guarantee it was Victor Harvell. He looks almost exactly like you. Hey, you want to know how fucked up Reston, Virginia is? So when the Red Hot Chili Peppers first played around, and when they got banned from playing, and when the joke was done on them in Virginia, they snatched Anthony Kiedis, and then they had the Bersinos twins, the girls, women, Jennifer Bersinos and her sister. What are the Bersinos sisters? They had to do it twice for Anthony Kiedis as well. He was not permitted to go on tour, and these women played his role. And their bass player, rest in heaven, now connected with all this Flea. Anyone can verify this. It was the Bersinos sisters, Jenny Bersinos and I forget the other one. They're still resting people who are evil, and they look almost like Anthony Kiedis, but they're women. And that was probably the first evil. Where I live, I have to smoke my medical weed on the street, even though I got grandpas coming at me with knives, and they'll brag about it in the neighborhood. Oh, I got him. They're like a foot shorter than me or 2 feet shorter than me. Anyways, the cops told them to let me smoke inside in the courtyard and smoke in my room, and then they took me to the cuckoo bin. First, I got arrested after church for threatening the priest at church who works in the White House at church. I'm not going back there again. Plus, their other deacons stole some of my art and shit. Next thing you know, come back here, go to the fucking Fredericksburg for some shit real quick to see old friends and ask their advice of my friend Takuba and a couple of other people, Brian Fletcher, who don't really know me, and I keep it solid with the hippies down there. 1 minute under less. Okay, so in speaking of, if Flavor Flav had to do 2 bids while people were held up in the jack, right? If they got stopped in the locks and they were like, what do we do? So Mark Logan would have paid Flavor Flav, and Kamani Baldwin would have played Flavor Flav. And that's that yeah voice shit. Because see, I saw Public Enemy here in 1989. Oh, they trap him at the old 930 Club. Oh! Now y'all caught. Old 930 Club be trapping them people. Johnny Bones, you've been trapping them superstars for these years, and now you got trapping people in them government buildings right there. John Acosta Get it? He is a musical man in the Screws and another band, and Babies with Rabies. And just to prove that it's all love, and I keep it side to side. Oh, Grandma told me last year around this time that the singer for JYB had gone to heaven and died. But I seen they still playing shows with him, so that shows how retarded I am and how one love this shit is. You know how James Brown and Chuck Brown made that deal with the Soul Searchers and the Godfathers of Jazz and Soul and whatever? Well, Chuck D and JYB, y'all traded off, didn't you? And that was the love. See, that's called black power, love and opportunity, not white power, which is oppression and evil, servitude. That's under 45. And along those same lines of what could have happened if they incarcerated somebody and sent somebody from Reston, a Reston kid, to play the music for that band member while they did some time and got taught about the penal system, the American way, the law, judiciary. Anyways, Craig Harmison, who's currently a father and has lawn barber, maybe he's a grandfather now, he would have been the one who imitated Harley from the Cro-Mags. If you did some time, Harley, and John Joseph went on tour with somebody pretending to be you, that person was Craig Harmison. He also was in Learning Disabled Kids from Reston. I'm figuring these things out now, under 45. And another thing, another person who could have played the role of another musician on a tour when the band had to go along with it, knowing that one day they'd be famous, but for now they had to let their friends sit in jail while they let a stranger go on tour with them. I said previously that Tim Barry or Justin Burdick could have been Fat Mike in NoFX. I'm also thinking that Mike Munoz, who's dead, he's dead. Mike Munoz would have been Eric Melvin, the guitar player for Fat Mike. He could have done that. And that's under 45 seconds. So I don't know if all this stuff is true, but I'm just magic. And it's not that I'm jealous that people I've grown up around may have imitated and gone in place of other musicians while that musician sat in the jail and learned to be part of the penal system or the judicial system or the red, white, and blue or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if any of these things are actually really true. However, in my recent experiences with the law system and with these music people here in Washington, D.C. who claim to be punk rock and hardcore, I'm just guessing a lot of folks from Reston and from the area would be sent in by the NSA or the FBI or the CIA to do these things.